In this video, we'll focus on the over-the-hook grid design. So we're currently in the Hub spreadsheet, so we need to move to the OTH grid design button here at the left-hand side. This will take us straight to the over-the-hook trading grid. And as we can see at the top, we've got a range of descriptors that we've already defined in the carcass description. The first step in constructing an over-the-hook trading grid is to set a base price. And this is the sweet spot within our grid. So as you can see, we've set this to $6 per kilogram of carcass weight. And as you will find moving through the land value calculator, any of the cells that are in bright green can be changed by you, the user. So in this case, we can change this $6 per kilogram of carcass weight to, for example, $8 per kilograms of carcass weight. We first need to define how wide our grid will be. So in this case, I've got a minimum carcass weight of 18 kilos and a maximum of 32 kilos. I've set the weight bands to be 2 kilograms in width, and we also need to decide how large will our sweet spot be. So in this case, I've said that no discounts or premiums will be applied between the carcass weights of 18 to 28 kilograms. I've also decided that there will be a discount of 20 cents per kilogram if any of the carcass fall out of the 18 to 28 kilogram weight range. We can then generate our hot standard carcass weight ranges to see how this looks like within this table here. So as you can see, this has generated a quick look to see that we've got an 18 to 28 kilogram premium where there's no discounts, and a 32 and 30 kilograms where we have a 20 cents per kilogram discount. We can then generate our over-the-hook grid using this grey button within the blue box. This can take a little bit of time when you generate the over-the-hook grid. As you can see, because we've entered $8 as our base price, we can see that $8 per kilogram of carcass weight here is our sweet spot between 18 to 28 kilograms. Anything that falls out of that, i.e. 30 to 32 kilograms, generates a 20 cents per kilogram discount. You can also see within this grid we've got a flat grid based on our fat scores, but we can actually apply premiums and discounts for fat scores as well. So if we scroll down the page, we can see that we can do this in one of two ways. We can either do this based on the millimeters of fat within our carcass or based on fat scores. So similarly to the hot standard carcass weight, we can generate a grid for GR fat depth definitions. So in this case, I've decided that the minimum fat depth within my grid will be 0 millimeters and the maximum will be 25 millimeters. I've decided that my fat depth bands will be 3 millimeters, and I've also decided that I only want to give the premium price to those carcasses that fall within a 0 and 10 millimeter band. Anything that falls outside of that band will generate a 10 cents per kilogram discount. I can then press this grey button below to generate the GR ranges. As you can see, this is reflected in the GR ranges table here. So between 0 and 10 millimeters, we've got no premium or discount, and anything that falls outside of that generates a 10 cents per kilogram discount. We can then apply the GR fat depths to our main grid at the top here by scrolling up, and we want to use the GR ranges in the grid, so we want to click on that button there. We can then generate the over-the-hook grid once again. As you can see, this complicates the grid somewhat. So we now have discounts applied up this bottom right hand corner of the grid to reflect our discount due to the introduction of GR fat depth discounts. If we scroll back down, we can also do this using fat scores. So in this case, I actually want to apply a premium of 10 cents per kilogram for any carcasses that come in that are fat scores 2 and 3. I can use these fat scores in the grid rather than GR ranges and generate the over the hooks grid once again. As you can see, this generates a grid that has premiums for fat scores 2 and 3, lifting that sweet spot up to $8.10 for those fat scores. You could also alternatively apply a discount if you wanted to. And I hope that gives you a really good grounding to start having a play with the grid spreadsheet within the Lamb Valley calculator.